Yes, 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 yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back for the next session, and it's going to be a powerful session. Beautiful. It's going to be a powerful session, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Woo! Let's go. Tell your friends, tell your frenemies. We're about to go dive into the next session. Yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's going to be a fantastic session. This session we're having right now, ladies and gentlemen. Go get all your friends together. We are listening to Dami Oluwatoyinbo. It's going to be C to surplus. An amazing time. Tell you. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Drop a comment. Let us know you're here. hot, 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 hot. Gonna blow your mind. I'm telling you. Woo! Debbie's ready. I'm excited. Debbie, you know what? We give them one more minute. They're just gonna dive into this. Where are you people? Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Okay. We're just gonna go straight and do the next one. All right. Okay. Share with me your expectations right now, ladies and gentlemen. What are your expectations for this session? Share with me your expectations and we go in. All right. Let's take Dami's profile, and the next voice you're going to hear, of course, will be Dami's voice. Yep.
Oyibo is a unique blend of gift and grace. A king raiser, creative genius, pastor, a dynamic speaker, inspirational writer, creative genius, and a spiritual shepherd. Dami empowers spiritual, business, and thought leaders to increase their impact and influence so that they can add greater value to more people and increase their income too. Today on Business Owners Conference 1.0, he will be speaking to us on the topic Seed to Surplus. How to grow a profitable business from the little you have in your hand. Please, let's make welcome Damilola Oluwafatoyibo.
To be able to communicate with you today. Thank you for taking out time to be a part of this amazing session. And I want to appreciate our host, the amazing Dr. Alfred Atiba, and congratulate you on this milestone. Thank you for the impact that you make in different ways. Thank you for the lives that you're touching and that you have touched through your teachings, your seminars, your conferences, your events, your ministrations, and all the different expressions of knowledge impartation that you have in different parts of the world. And I pray that it's a truly new year for you, where you enjoy the bliss, the blessings, and the boundless grace of God in untold dimensions. Now, if you're watching this, you're in for an amazing time at this special session of the Business Owners Conference. My name is Damilola Oluwatoyinbo. For those who have never met me before, I'll tell just a little bit of part of my story, and then we're going to dive into this amazing presentation I've called Seed to surplus, as an SEED, to TOSURPLUS, seed to surplus, and it's basically how to grow a profitable business starting with the little that you have. Now, I hold in my hands an evidence of what I'm about to teach you today. So sometimes in 2008, I recorded this particular product. It's called Speak with Power. You can see CDs. Most people don't use CDs any longer, right? We're in the days of digital media. But in 2008, what had happened was I began to explore my gifts of speaking and communication. People will come to me and say, you speak so well. I like the way you speak. I love your confidence. I love your charisma. I love your comportment and composure. Can you teach me how to be a better speaker? Can you teach me how to communicate with the kind of fluency and the kind of fire that you have every time that you speak? And so I would, give people tips and tricks and techniques from time to time. But after a while, I said, let me record something that can actually represent me in my absence, something that people could listen to over and over again. They could turn it off, they could turn it on, they could fast forward, they could pause, they could record. So I put some money together and I asked my friend, who was a producer, an audio recorder, because in terms of production, he hadn't actually emerged at the time. And I said, you have a studio, can you help me? I want to record this. Now, the studio was about the size of, I think it was about 2 feet by 2 feet, and I'm not even joking. Was the kind of studio that once you open the door, that's all. You open the door, you step in, and you close the door. You could only accommodate one person, maybe two, and I started selling this product. I think initially it was 2,000, then I sold it for 10,000. And sometime in 2014, I think it was, I put it on a global market space, and we recorded some sales for $97, the same product. So from 2,500 naira to $97. At the time, the dollar was about 140 naira. So that was something like 14,000 naira thereabout. If I was to sell it right now at that rate, that's going to be something like 100,000 naira. Now, why am I sharing that with you? Because what I had at the time was a seed. And every business owner is going to start with a seed. Every leader, every pastor, every communicator, every entrepreneur, every innovator, every investor, you start with a seed. Now, what happens with many people is that they get so frustrated, they are angry, they are bitter at the economy, at how tough things are, at how depressing things tend to be, how desperate they are in their families, and they get overwhelmed with the distractions of daily survival, the distractions of paying bills, and they never discover their seeds. Now, what is a seed? A seed is anything of value that you can invest to be able to multiply, replicate, or increase the quantity of. So time can be a seed, money can be a seed, an idea can be a seed, relationships can be a seed. This opportunity that you have is a seed, is being gifted to you and thousands of other people so that they can take that seed and plant it. Now, the future of the farmer is connected to the seed. Similarly, the future of the entrepreneur, the businessman, the minister, the husband, the wife, the creator, the content creator, right? Every future that you see is trapped in a seed. And it's what you do with the seed that determines how you unlock that future. Now, over the years, 2008, that's about 16 years, right? Depending on when you're watching, it's at least 16 years ago. I've now made several millions of naira selling just this product. And then this product has gone into different parts of the earth and has opened doors for me, giving me the opportunity to train many other people. But it started with a seed, a 10,000 naira seed. I think the whole recording period is about 2.5 to 3 hours. So 10,000 naira, 3 hours, of course, maybe 3 years of professional engagement at the time. But it's now evolved, and that's the way I've created products like this, products like this, products like this, products like this, and I could show you many, and of course, many digital products, but it all starts with a seed. If you're able to comment where you are, just put in the comment box, it starts with a seed. It starts with a seed. It might be small, but it starts with a seed. Big oak trees emerge from tiny oaks, from acorns, right? From the seed, that's the acorn. I'm not talking about the convict music guy, the musician. The ACORN, right? Is that corny? You get it? Right. So First, you've got to realize I start with the seed. So it starts with the seed, but it does not end with the seed. And I can use local examples, I can use global examples. So you might be familiar with the name Funke Akindele. Now, Funke Akindele, the first time I saw on television was like 30 years ago or something. And there was a show called You Need to Know or I Need to Know that was on NTA back then. And she was one of the actors, you know, children. I think she's about 45 now. So she was a young girl and she was on that show. And, you know, I enjoyed the show, but I didn't think much about her up until the Jennifer series or the Jennifer movie. That's like about 15 years ago now. But it started with the seed. Now, her most recent movie, Tribe of Judah, has grossed about 1.5 billion naira, as the last time I checked, over 1 billion naira in Nigeria, in the cinemas. It started with the seed. Now, the question is, what are you doing with your seed? Are you disdaining your seed just because it's small? Are you despising your seed just because nobody's paying attention to it? Because the farmer has to realize that if I plant the seeds well, if I groom the seeds well, if I take care of the plantation, these seeds can become a mighty harvest, and this harvest can get into nations where many people are going to be fed and inspired. So what's the idea that you have? Is it for a book, a coaching practice, a therapy practice, a counseling practice? Do you have an idea for tech? You're building a product? Do you have a solution for AI or AI support or AI training, AI consultant? Do you have a farming business? Do you have a food business, an agri business? Are you in the business of creating medicines, naturopathy? Are you looking at being a masseuse or running a research parlor? Whatever the business is, find the seed. Now, what's that seed? The thing of value that you can multiply to reach more people. That thing of value, document it, right? So I have certain sets in my life, my gift of communication, my gift of oratory, my gift of creativity, my gift of wisdom, which then manifests in creativity, innovation, my gift of leadership, my ability to craft frameworks and templates and to create messaging that can pierce the hardest of hearts with humor, yet with weight and value. So find the seed in your life. The first thing you're going to need, if you're going to move from seed to surplus, is that you've got to what? Find the seed. Of course, you know that, if you know me, I love wordplay. So seed to surplus, okay? It's also what? Seed to I saw the plus in my seed, right? You got to see the plus in your seed. So when you find that seed, don't say this is all I'll ever be. You know, who cares anyway? I can sing. Who cares anyway? Well, maybe if you care enough, somebody will begin to pay attention to it. And people pay attention before they pay. So you've got to find the seed. So think about the seed, find the seed, you've got to sow the seed. What does it mean to sow the seed? Let me give you an example. Every time I travel, I experience this. When I go to the mall, almost every time I go to maybe the United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, United States of America. And isn't it amazing that all these countries are mentioned? Some of the most progressive countries are all united. United Kingdom, United States of America, United Arab Emirates. There was USSR back then. Question is, are you united with your seed, with your vision? Do you have a sense of destiny connected to it? So I see this almost every time I go to the mall. You find all those maybe nice looking pretty ladies, young girls. They'll come with platters of maybe chocolate chips or some cookie or some cookie dough, something like that, and they'll say, hello sir, would you like to have some? Would you like to have some? Would you like to have some? And you know, many times I might go for it and taste it or politely decline, say, oh, thank you very much. And when you taste it, sometimes the cookie is so nice. And when I say cookie, I'm talking about literal biscuito, not the other type of cookie. The cookie is so nice, right, that you then place an order for more. So what you do with your seed is that you've got to sow the seed by serving solutions to people. Give people the taster version of it. So before I recorded this, I'd given people free sessions, right? You don't build a practice without practicing. So you don't build a coaching practice, you don't build a medical practice, a legal practice without practicing. So you practice by practicing doesn't mean you're doing like low life, mediocre, inferior stuff, but it means that you are actually providing value to people on a certain level. They have the opportunity of experiencing what you're offering, and they taste it, and then they give you feedback. Then you can capture the feedback as testimonials and improve your process, right? That's the first thing. You want to get the seed right. So the first thing is the seed. Boom. Second thing is the soil. This is very important. What do you do with the seed? You find the seed, you sow the seed, you water the seed, you nurture the seed, you protect the seed, you pay attention to the seed. Don't wait for your business to go global before you treat it with a global mindset. Don't wait for that, right? Before you treat it with a global mindset. Let people know that there is something about it. Let people know there's something about the way you're carrying yourself, the way you're coming across. Let people know that you mean business. Right? And it's not just about having a business card. It's about having a business mind, an orientation that tells people this guy ain't playing. So soil, find the soil. What is the soil? The soil is the ground upon which your seed can flourish. The soil is the ground that has a gap that your seed can fill. So the soil basically target audience or target market or your initial base. Right. So for me, what did I do? It was a couple of my friends, my family members, people who were around me that I was sharing these things with. So by sharing with them and speaking for them, speaking on campus in the university, and then graduating and still speaking, many times for free at the time, right? Then I began to master my craft and the art, and I also began to understand how this whole thing works. I remember the first time I was paid 100,000 naira for speaking for 1 hour. One of my friends was like, how can they pay you 100,000? This is like 2009, 2010, right? What were you saying? Was gold coming out of your mouth? And guess what? What she didn't realize is that King Solomon says, like apples of gold and settings of silver are well-spoken words. So you have to think about that. The soil, what ground am I in right now? Now that ground may not initially seem favorable. It may seem hostile, it may seem difficult, it may seem disadvantageous, because when you plant the seed in the soil, what happens initially is it looks like the soil is attacking the seed. As a matter of fact, the soil actually attacks the seed. So when you share your idea, people may attack it, they may criticize it, but let me tell you what, always pay attention to what is getting attention in your life. Whatever is getting attention in your life holds the keys to greater potential. Now, the attention may not always be positive, it may be negative. It may be people are criticizing you, attacking you, offending, saying, what does he think he is? Who does she think she is? Whatever they're saying that to, try to look at it and say, okay, is there truth to what they're saying? Are there things I can adjust in my life? Am I, coming across as cocky or arrogant or too forward? Or are they just envious and jealous and demeaning and insecure? Pay attention to what is getting attention. Why? Attention is valuable. So when people begin to pay attention to something you're doing, they're already offering you a dimension of value. So you want to maximize the dimension of value by paying attention to it. So the soil is the ground upon which you can sow the seed. Find the gaps in people around you. So for example, if you have a fashion business, before you go to the whole world, think about your friends, your family, your loved ones, people that do ashwebi. Think about demographics. People who are getting married, people who are getting buried, who are burying people. That's people who have older parents, grandparents. Think about all the places where people need to sew clothes en masse. Think about schools, uniforms. Think about security agencies, the uniforms. Think about food businesses. Think about logistics companies. And sometimes you might not see the gap, right? But you can create the gap. I like something that Steve Harris said a while ago. He said, don't just think about the gap in your market. Think about the market in the gap. I love it. In other words, right, you just got to give it to Steve. It's got like this business thing on lockdown, right? So don't just think about the gap in your market. Think about the markets in the gap. What does that mean? There's a gap in the market, but are there people willing to pay money for that solution? Soil. I need to run. Number 3 is that you've now got to think about what? Boom, 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 boom. Sunlight. Oh, yeah. Now, the metaphor we're using here is for vegetation, for crops, right? So we know something called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, to synthesize is to build together, to build up, and all of that. That's synthesis. Photo is light, so to build with light, photosynthesis. So that's photo, light, synthesis, to build up. So to build up with light, photosynthesis. We know that we need sunlight. Every seed needs light. What's light? Education. What's light? New knowledge. What's light? Industrial information or industry-based information, best practice. What's light? Nurturing. It's also visibility. So the sunlight here represents knowledge, insights, revelation, wisdom, practical things, and also visibility. So you see, this gives visibility. If it was just digital, guess what? No physical elements. So even in the digital age, find out how can I give visibility? Can I do 3D images? Can I do that? Mock-ups for my digital products. Where do I need to go? Do I need to go for a trade show, exhibitions? Do I need to go to the highbrow areas of my community wherever I live across the world? Because I'm aware that people are watching from the United Kingdom, from Canada, United States of America, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. I'll be coming to one of those countries very soon. In fact, all those countries very soon. I've been to a couple of them before. I'll come to all those countries real soon. So look out for the details, right? So think about that. Think about that. Think about this. This is very key. Sunlight. Exposure. Are you exposing your business? Who knows that you can do what you claim to do, right? If people were to be convicted for publicizing their businesses too much, do you have enough evidence to go to jail? Come on, that's so good, right? Do you have enough evidence to be locked up in jail? Or is that the reason your products are locked up in a store somewhere nobody knows about you? So think about sunlight. I'm almost rounding off, so I hope you're getting something really good. Number 4, drop a comment if you're getting something really good. Drop the comment right now. Number 4 is what? Guess what it is? You've got to check out the seasons. So understand the season that your business is in. Many people don't understand seasons and they get so frustrated. They get angry, they pluck out their hair, they get competitive, jealous, envious. They begin to say, God, when? God, when? God, I beg, God, I beg. And God is like, I never beg, right? So why are you saying, God, I should beg? God be like, I don't beg, right? Okay. Even though, God, you can say God is big. In other words, God is big, that's the B. God is excellent, that's the E. God is great, that's the G. So whenever you think about begging, think about how can I be bigger? How can I be excellent? How can I be greater? You see. So seasons. Everybody has their season. Every life, every product, every gift under heaven. Now, it doesn't mean that expect to shine and then fade. As a matter of fact, God's design is that whatever is lit doesn't stop being lit. The sun has been shining for thousands of years and is still well lit. The moon comes out almost every night. You may not see it in your part of the world, but it's always there, right? Elements, things shine from time to time, but seasons, you must understand what season is my business in. Am I in the pre-seed phase? Am I in the seed capital phase? Am I in the startup phase? Am I in the growth phase? Am I in the scaling phase? Find out what phase you're in so that you don't get phased out. You don't get upset. You don't get prematurely frustrated, right? The seasons of your life. I knew that one of the things I had to do was that there was a season where I was selling this, but there was a season where I moved to doing events around it. Then there was a season where I started doing coaching based on that. Then there was a season where I stopped all of that and I started implementing all the strategies for my business and my life on a bigger scale. So there was a season I worked from this office as my home office. That was a season. And then I'm now in the season where I technically have 4 offices, technically, right? So I have this home office, I have Dream Space, my business office. I have an office in Kings on the mainland and Kings on the island. Of course, I don't go to all the 4 offices every day. That'll be like Colo Mental. You know Colo Mental? Ecolo Mental? F1 Mental? Ecolo Mental? Right? But I'm just talking about growth and seasons and understand the dynamisms and the dynamism of your life. Understand the scene so that you don't compete with people that you're not supposed to compete with, right? As a matter of fact, the only person you should really compete with is the greater you, the best you, the inner you. Of course, you can draw inspiration from other people in your industry, but draw inspiration, don't be intimidated. So understand seasons. A farmer will get frustrated and will sow the right seeds at the wrong time if he doesn't understand the seasons. Let me give you quickly 5. The next thing you must then have are what? Systems. And for you to have systems, you must actually also have structures for those systems. This is the last thing I'm going to share, even though I could go on and on. Right? What are the systems? Systems are basically an integration of different individual parts that all deliver individual results, but then when they're brought together, they deliver a greater result, a more harmonious result, right? And this is one thing that I wish I did much earlier. The importance of systems, I discovered that somewhere around 2017, about 2017, right? And there are different ways in which it happened to me, but I can tell you one of them. One of them was that I went for an event by Tony Robbins. I had my first Tony Robbins event. If you don't know who Tony Robbins is, one of the world's most powerful, most influential communicators, speakers, activators, performance coach, peak performance coach, business growth catalysts, all whatnot. It's just incredible like that. And the first event I went for where he spoke, Donald Trump spoke at that event, was 2013, I think, 12 or 13. I'll check my details, but I think must have been 13, really. And so Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, Donald Trump. And one of the things that Tony Robbins did at that event was that he spoke, he charged up the place, everybody was wild and out, like energy off the roof. And then it says, I have a coaching program. If you want to be part of the coaching program, it is just, he gave different categories, but I think that the cheapest was about $5,000. There was about $10,000 package. There was a $30,000 package. The cheapest was about, I think, $5,000. I'm not even sure there was anything, but I know the average is about $10,000 or $15,000. Ladies and gentlemen, people were running. I'm not joking, like Caucasians running the way many Nigerians run for food at Owambe parties. These people were running for knowledge, running to the coach. I was thinking, this is like $10,000. People were running, hundreds of people. So it occurred to me that there was a system behind it. There was something he had built over the years, like when he spoke about how he went public, and I think his valuation for all his businesses went to like $400 million within a couple of days. So how does that happen? Systems. So if you look at a brand like Netflix, how come you can watch Netflix in your part of the world, I can in my part of the world, everybody can watch in different parts of the world? Systems. How come you have like a church like Redeemed Christian Church of God with branches across the world? Systems. How come you have Cadbury in many countries across the world? Systems. You have name all the brands. Apple computers. I have like 4 or 5 Apple devices. I think about 5 or 6, right? Apple devices, the phone, laptop 1, laptop 2, right? What? Systems. So if your business is going to go to surplus from seed, you've got to find the seed. You've got to plant the seed in the right soil, not the toxic and destructive soil. You've got to then expose that seed to the right amount of sunlight. Not too much, not too little. And then you've got to understand the seasons. And finally, you must have the right systems. Woo! It's been great sharing with you. I believe that you got something powerful and something great from this. I wish I could go on and on and on, but you can follow me on Instagram, follow my YouTube channel, get on my coaching programs or any of the coaching programs of the amazing host, Dr. Alfred Atiba. Right, just grow this. Engage this in your business, in your work, and let's keep flourishing together. I pray for you that you have strength, you have grace and wisdom, staying power to be able to move all the way to deliver increasing levels of value so that one day you're going to say, hey, thank you for being a part of my $1 billion story. And I look forward to seeing you on one of my other platforms or events. Until then, keep thriving and keep flourishing with all that God has given to you. See you later.
Amazing, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Can we put it together for Dami? Can we celebrate Dami? Wherever you are, put your hands together. Let us say thank you to Dami. Let's say thank you to Dami. Dami, thank you. I'm grateful. As always, I'm always grateful to you. Thank you so, so much for that awesome, awesome, awesome time. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's just amazing. One of the things that gets at me in this part of the world is the fact that people don't invest in knowledge. And I say this with all sense of sincerity, that I know I have invested millions, and I'm not joking. I've invested millions into self-development, and that is the way it is. You need to learn how to invest in yourself. Let me tell you something. Your life cannot produce what you didn't put in it. Oh, I wish somebody would type that. Or somebody will say that to somebody. You cannot reproduce what you did not receive. All right. Now, if a woman is not, if the male seed, if the seed of the man is inseminated into the egg of the woman, I mean, she's not going to produce anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you understand that without the introduction of something, of a seed into something, it won't grow. I mean, the woman's eggs are the soil, right? The man produces the seed, the woman has the soil. You put the seed in the soil, it germinates. So what you don't put into yourself, all right, you can never reproduce it. So it's very important that we start to invest heavily in ourselves, right? You see opportunities to learn, jump on it, right? Jump on it. Now, we would have thought that because this was free, right? I mean, we will have thousands, maybe millions of people jump on this to learn, because every single person that we brought actually are people that actually people pay hundreds of thousands. I even beg to differ, millions to listen to, right? So it's very critical that we need to start to do that. We need to start to develop ourselves. We need to start to inject information to ourselves. And let me tell you something, you will remain at the level that you are if you refuse to invest into yourself. That's the way it is. So let's go ahead and let's start to reproduce. Let's start to develop ourselves. Let's start to invest money into ourselves. You remain the level that you are. Look at how Dami is. Look at Steve. Look at Michael. Look at David. All of these people. Look at Yinka. All of these people move themselves. Talk where, they move themselves. You invest in yourself. I literally am saying, and I'm saying it again, over the years I have spent, and no jokes, I've spent millions growing myself. I know what I'm saying. So you need to move yourself to that level where you practically invest. You cannot reproduce what you did not receive, what you didn't introduce in the first instance. You cannot reproduce it. Thank you so much, Dami, for that amazing analogy on the seed. Wow, awesome, isn't it? Awesome. I was just typing stuff. I was just typing that I wish people were actually listening. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be having our next session from 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, we're going to be having our next session, and it's going to be amazing. And we're going to be having, of course, the amazing Olu Joseph. Wow. You need to understand the stories of these wonderful people, and it's going to be amazing, pretty amazing. It's going to be very, very powerful. Don't miss it for anything. Please understand, these are just 2 days. We're going to be having Business Owners Conference 2.0 in 2025. It's going to be March 22nd, March 23rd, 2025. I promise you it will be off the hook. We're learning how to do better. We're going to make it better. It's going to be a better experience. It's going to be a powerful, better experience. We're going to make it much more richer. I promise you. And we're going to have more people from all over the world who will speak to us. So let's get ready for the next session with Olu Joseph. Olu Joseph is in Canada. Olu will be sharing with us you and your business culture. I promise you, it's going to be off the hook. I promise you, it's going to be an amazing. I've listened to Olu several times, and I can tell you that Olu is loaded and needed. I'm telling you. Can I share with you this? Olu, as a professional, his income tripled, practically went up, in just a space of a month. Why? Because he was delivering amazing, extraordinary value. Can you imagine being paid in dollars just like that? Just because of what? Because he understands what he needs, what he understands. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next session from 6 o'clock. Hope to see you. Make sure, not hope, I want to see you there, because it's time to take your business to the next level. And I also believe it's time to take your life to the next level. I will see you. My name is Dr. Alfred Adeni Yatiba. They call me Dr. Triple A. And I am that guy that makes you act, I activate you, and I make you actionize. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Bye for now.